Hi friends, welcome to this seated yoga flow. We will be on our hands and knees a little bit throughout this practice, but we'll primarily be seated. All you need is your mat. If you know you like to practice with a block, just have one nearby. We're going to be working through some twists, heart openings, and hip openers. And we'll get started with a little bit of breath work. So find an easy seat, or you can come to sit up on your heels like I am. Find the position that feels most comfortable in your body. And once you're there, begin to softly close your eyes. If that feels comfortable for you, you can keep your eyes at a soft gaze. Find where you want to be for this breath work. Tuning into your body. How does your breath feel? How does your body feel? Where is your mind at? Let's bring one hand to the belly, the other hand to the heart space. On your inhales, really breathe into the hand that's on your belly. On your exhale, think of drawing the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly draws in. Really focusing in on this area of the body where we tend to hold a lot. You might notice that it feels a little uncomfortable. Maybe you really have to focus on that expansion on the inhales and the drawing in on the exhales. But that's okay. We tend to breathe out of our chest. So we'll practice bringing that breath into the belly instead. As you're focusing on the hand on the belly, I'll walk us through a few rounds of breath with count. On your inhales, I'll count to 5. On our exhales, I'll count to 6. So really slowing down the breath here. On your next exhale, release everything. Begin to inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm, keeping that breath to belly connection. We can bring our hands down to our lap. Take a moment, just notice how the body feels. Gently begin to flutter open the eyes. And bringing hands beside our hips, let's begin to find some shoulder rolls. So inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, back and down. We'll find a few rounds like this. Really exaggerating those shoulder rolls. Good, then let's reverse. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, forward and down. Good, and we'll find some stillness. You can keep hands beside you or bring them back to your thighs. We'll begin to find half neck rolls here. So in either direction, just begin to sway the head back and forth. Our spine is nice and tall. Breathing in through the sides of the neck, through the back of the neck. And stay with your breath here. Good. On your next inhale, bring your head back to neutral. With our spine nice and long, on your exhale, let your head fall back just a little bit so that we can open up through the throat. Good. Inhale, we'll come back through center. Let's bring our hands behind our back and grab a hold of opposite elbow, or it might be onto the forearms. That's okay. Wherever you can reach, grab a hold and think of opening up through the collarbone, through the heart space here. So maybe a baby bend through the back, and find your breath into the belly. Good. On your exhale, release that bind. Now bring hands to opposite opposite knees. So you'll find like an X shape with the arms. Begin to round through the spine. Bring your gaze between those arms. So you'll feel a shoulder opener here. Breathing through the spine. Good. On your next inhale, let's come back through center. You can release those arms. Good. We're going to switch now over into tabletop position. So find your wrist underneath of your shoulders. Find your knees underneath of your hips. Fingers are spread nice and wide. On your inhale, dip your belly, lift your hips and your gaze towards the ceiling for a cow tilt. Exhale, draw the mat away from you, gaze towards your knees for cat. Find breath with movement. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine. Good. One more here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, we'll find ourselves back in neutral. Begin to lift that right knee up behind you, flex through the right foot, and find some hip circles here. So rotating that hip in one direction a few times, staying with your breath. Good, then reverse. Good. Now we'll extend that right leg to the back of the mat and plant that foot down. Let's pivot on that left shin for support. Keep that left hand planted. Inhale, right fingers up towards the ceiling or the sky. Good. On your next inhale, reach fingertips towards the top of your mat. So we're getting a side body stretch here all the way from those Fingers down to the toes. Good. On your next exhale, we'll release back down into tabletop position. To realign the spine here, inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine. Good, we'll find neutral. This time, let's lift the left knee up to hip height, flex through the left foot. Let's find those hip rotations. Staying connected with the breath here. Reversing those circles. Good. Then extend the left foot to the back of the mat. Plant that left foot down. Pivot on the right shin. Keep your right hand planted. As you inhale, lift left fingers to the ceiling. Find your breath here. Inhale, extend left fingers towards the top of the mat so we find a side body stretch. Good. On your next exhale, let's return back into that tabletop position. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the mat away. Good, we'll find neutral. Cross through those ankles and come to sit back on your glutes. Keep your left knee bent, extend through that right leg. I'm going to turn to face you. So we're in a single leg straddle pose here. Right toes are flexed. Bring your right hand towards that right leg. Inhale your left fingers up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach towards that right foot. And find your breath here. So breathing nice and deep through the left side body. Good. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up. Let's turn our hips to face that right leg. Inhale, reach fingertips nice and high. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Let your head fall between the arms so there's no tension through the neck. Breathing through the back of the right leg. And let's inch our hands a little bit closer to us to frame out that right knee. Bring those hands to fingertips. Inhale, begin to rise up through the spine. Exhale, find a fold. Do that a few times. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Good. Take one more breath here. On your next inhale, we'll slowly walk those hands back up to neutral. Bring the left hand beside that left hip. Inhale, right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring right hand to the left knee as we twist over towards the left. So gazing over that left shoulder. On your inhale, really lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Good. On your next exhale, we'll slowly come back through center, but keep the left hand where it is. Plant down through the left palm. On your inhale, reach your right hand up and over towards that left shoulder. As you lift your hips, plant down through the right foot. We're finding sort of a wild thing variation here. Breathing through the hips, through the heart. Exhale, we'll slowly lower back down. Good. I'm going to move my necklace out of the way. Let's switch sides. So extend through the left leg, bend that right knee in. Left hand meets left leg. Inhale, right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach for the left foot. Breathing through the right side body. Good. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up. Let's turn our hips to face that left knee or left leg. Inhale, reach fingers up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach over for those toes. Make sure there's no tension through the neck here. And we'll come back into that rise and fold. So fingertips framing out the left knee. Inhale, open up through the heart. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower and hold. On your next inhale, walk fingertips back up to neutral. Bring right hand beside the right hip. Inhale, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, find your twist over to the right. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, twisting. Good. On your next exhale, we'll slowly bring the torso back through center. Keep the right hand planted beside that right hip. Inhale, reach left hand up and over as you lift through the hips, plant through that left foot. We're breathing through the heart space here, through the hip space. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Beautiful job. Now we'll extend through both legs so we find a staff pose here. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Spine is nice and tall. Inhale, reach fingertips up. Exhale, reach for those toes, and you can find a nice bend through those knees. Take a few breaths through the back of the legs. On your next inhale, slowly roll the spine back up. Keep the left leg long. Let's cross that right foot over that left knee and drawing that right knee towards your body. Bring right hand beside the right hip. Inhale, left fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, twist over to the right. So left elbow can meet right knee. You can also just hug that right knee in towards you. On your next exhale, slowly come back through center. Let's extend through the right leg, cross left foot over right knee. Left hand comes beside the left hip. Inhale, right fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, find your twist. On your next exhale, slowly come back through center. Let's bring soles of the feet onto the mat. Knees are up to the ceiling. Hands behind us for support. Rock the knees side to side, releasing some tension that we might have brought upon the hips. Good. Then we will return back into an easy seat. Come to face you. From your easy seat, inhale, reach arms up to the ceiling, palms touch, exhale down to heart center. 2 more rounds. Inhale, circle up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold hands to the heart. Reconnect with that breath to belly connection. Noticing how you feel in this moment. And reminding yourself that whatever the answer to that is okay. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.